Elena Ramirez, a 42-year-old environmental engineer and widowed mother of 2 teenagers, had relocated to Evergreen Meadows seeking solace after her husband's untimely death in a workplace accident. Her background in hazardous materials management made her hyper-aware of safety protocols, and she chose the neighborhood for its schools and sense of community. Her split-level home, with its solar panels and native plant garden, stood as a beacon of sustainability amid the uniform beige exteriors enforced by the HOA. Elena worked remotely for a consulting firm, advising factories on compliance, which gave her flexible hours to coach her kids' soccer teams and volunteer at local cleanup events. The HOA was ruled with an iron fist by Beatrice Harrington, a retired accountant in her early 60s, known for her pearl necklace, impeccably pressed blouses, and a hawk-like gaze that spotted infractions from blocks away. B patrolled the streets in her golf cart, armed with a digital camera and a binder of bylaws thicker than a phone book. She fined residents for everything. Holiday lights left up past January 1st, cars with visible dents, or even bird feeders that attracted nuisance wildlife. Her mantra was, "Uniformity breeds prosperity," but neighbors saw it as control bordering on obsession. B's husband had once worked at the factory, and she harbored a grudge against it for polluting our pristine air, often ranting at meetings about odors and noise. Trouble ignited when Elena noticed flickering lights and a strange chemical whiff wafting from the factory one humid summer evening. As an expert, she recognized the signs of a potential electrical fault in solvent storage, a recipe for disaster. She emailed the factory safety officer, a contact from her professional network, suggesting an inspection. But before they could act, B got wind of it through neighborhood gossip. Seeing an opportunity to escalate her crusade, B organized an impromptu HOA protest outside the factory gates. She rallied 24 residents with signs reading, "Shut down the smog monster," and "Protect our kids from toxins." B, microphone in hand, lambasted the factory for endangering our community and demanded immediate closure, ignoring Elena's pleas for measured action. That night, as the protest dispersed, B snuck back alone, fueled by righteous indignation. In a misguided act of vigilantism, she tampered with a perimeter fence, cutting a section to expose what she claimed were hidden hazards. Unbeknownst to her, this breached a security protocol, disabling an alarm linked to volatile storage tanks. Sparks from her wire cutters, static electricity in the dry air, ignited a small leak, and within minutes flames erupted. The factory's sprinkler system kicked in, but the fire spread rapidly through flammable materials, turning the facility into an inferno. Sirens wailed as fire trucks raced in, illuminating the night sky with orange glows. Evacuation orders blared, sending Evergreen Meadows into chaos, families fleeing with pets and valuables as ash rained down. Elena, awakened by the alarms, grabbed her kids and rushed outside. Her training took over. She called her contacts at the factory and the EPA, providing crucial details on the chemicals involved to guide firefighters. As the blaze raged, consuming warehouses and threatening to spill into nearby wetlands, Elena confronted B in the street. "What have you done?" she demanded, her voice steady amid the pandemonium. B, soot-streaked and defiant, snapped back. "I was protecting us. That factory's a menace." But witnesses had seen her at the fence, and security cameras captured the act. The fire department contained the blaze after hours of battle, but the damage was catastrophic. Millions in losses, temporary shutdowns laying off hundreds, and environmental cleanup costs soaring. The air quality plummeted temporarily, forcing school closures and health warnings. Investigations ensued, with arson suspicions pointing squarely at B. Elena, leveraging her expertise, testified as an expert witness. She presented detailed reports, blueprints she'd accessed legally, chemical inventories, and simulations showing how the tampering triggered the chain reaction. This wasn't an accident. It was reckless interference, she stated in court, her slides projecting the factory's layout and the breach point. B's face paled as evidence mounted. She tried to deflect, accusing Elena of collusion with the corporate polluters and claiming her actions were civil disobedience. But the jury wasn't swayed. B was convicted of arson and vandalism, sentenced to community service, probation, and restitution payments that bankrupted her. The HOA board, horrified by the fallout, ousted her unanimously. Neighbors who had endured her fines for minor offenses like overgrown hedges or unauthorized yard signs erupted in relief. Fines for aesthetic violations like Elena's eco-friendly rain barrels? Waived. The community pool's strict no floaties rule? Relaxed. In the fire's wake, Elena spearheaded the Evergreen Renewal Initiative. With grants from the state, they planted buffer zones of fire-resistant trees between the neighborhood and the rebuilt factory, installed air monitors, and hosted joint safety workshops with factory workers. The HOA transformed into a cooperative forum, focusing on resilience rather than rigidity, organizing fire drills, community gardens, and even a scholarship fund for kids affected by the layoffs. Elena's home became the hub, her garden blooming with wildflowers that symbolized rebirth. One twist emerged during the trial. Elena revealed that her late husband had died in a similar factory mishap elsewhere, caused by negligence. This fueled her passion for prevention, not destruction. B's sabotage had ironically united the community against such extremism. As the factory reopened with upgraded safety measures, partly thanks to Elena's consultations, the neighborhood thrived. No more acrid smells lingered. Instead, the air carried hints of fresh pine from new plantings. Years on, Elena would watch her kids play soccer under clearer skies, reflecting on the blaze that burned away tyranny. Evergreen Meadows emerged stronger, a testament that true protection comes from knowledge and unity, not unchecked anger. B's former home sold quickly, its new owners painting it a vibrant blue, defying old rules with impunity.